All right. Hello, everyone. It's Tracy Cromwell here, your certified integrative nutrition health coach. And I'm coming to you a little early this Tuesday. Usually I'm here at 7 p.m. Pacific time, but I wanted to make special arrangements so that I could have our guest with us today. I have Nicole Fevrier-Davis with us, and she's on the East Coast. And I was very excited to bring her here because she has such a wonderful way of looking at our mind and our body connection. So Nicole is a certified National Academy of Sports Medicine personal trainer, and she's certified in many other areas as well. And she also is a psychic as well as a Reiki master. And she's had 30 years of experiencing developing her unique combination of skills to bring better mental, spiritual, and physical health to her clients and students. And so, Nicole, we've been working on this for a while to get you on the show, and I'm just so excited to have you.
Thank you so much. This is awesome. Yeah, I was just pondering how messed up communication can be.
It's so funny. Oh, we got her frozen. It's okay.
Yay.
Oh, there she is. Okay, we froze. But yeah, we just let everybody know it was really funny. We were like, what day are we talking? And at what time? And what time zone are you in? And
then I asked like 3 times, are you sure it's today? It's today, right?
We made it happen. So anyway, welcome. And I just want to get right to it here. I would love to hear about, your viewpoint and concept of the mind-body connection, because to me, it's one of the most important things that we can establish within ourselves. And once we do that, I believe our whole world changes and our whole view of ourselves change. And so I'm going to give you the floor, and I would love to hear what your thoughts are on that.
Okay, well, I mean, years and years ago, I would talk about the mind-body connection, and people would send me to a yoga class, and I'm like, wait a minute, but your mind-body connection happens everywhere, every day of every minute of every hour. So I started to, I've been getting readings, psychic readings, since I was 16. My parents have me on videotape as a toddler, like talking to people I didn't know, and just that weren't there, outside of your imaginary friends. It was a very ornate group of imaginary friends, let's put it that way. But so I had been giving psychic readings to people for quite a long time. And I had also been channeling information from like the Holy Spirit and certain angels. And I heard you're going to be able to help people on a level that you can't help right now. And this was when I just first started personal training people. And I thought, oh, wow, this is going to be a different branch of personal training. And they said, yes, a very different branch of personal training. So that it was like a natural progression, because I had been working in a gym or a fitness facility that had spa rooms. And I said, can I rent these rooms to give Reiki and readings? And they said, oh yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, have at it. So I did that for a while. But what I found was every reading I gave me clues and information. So like, electronic impulses from the brain to the body. Every time I'd ask a question, it would show me this impulse system from the brain to the body. And then, that message came, and I started thinking, well, should I tell the woman I'm training right now that I know she had really severe problems with her father relationship? And I started breaking down like how I knew that. Like it was a puzzle to myself. I had to figure it out. I was like, how did I figure that? So I broke it down into a system, and I figured out like what told me these things. And I was seeing different things happen in different parts of the body. So eventually I started giving readings to my personal training clients in an effort to figure out what was holding them back from weight loss, endurance training, strength training. What was there? Why were they weak in that area? What was going on in that part of their body? And the more I gave the readings, the more specific and I want to say unrelated to diet and exercise the answers were. Mm-hmm. So I started to kind of catalog and document different people I'd worked with, and recently did a brief study with 12 women with something I created called the subconscious conversation that helps us kind of get past those emotional blockages that are preventing us from attaining those goals. So the more I do this work, it's amazing, because like I could show you, I have stacks of books, and like you said, I have certification files of certifications, 30 years worth. Okay. None of that prepared me for what I saw actually happening inside their minds and bodies, and how that should be addressed. And very rarely was it like, this person has to cut sugar out of their diet, or they should just eat these vegetables. Like it was very rarely like that. It always encompassed how the emotional response in the body was acting on the brain and sending the wrong brain chemistry through the body in order to attain a perfect, weight health, or to sustain a 26-mile run, that kind of thing. So that's how, this kind of germinated into the science, literally, of your soul within your body, because, our bodies are this, very intricate, ornate system of communication that leaves nothing out. So when you say, I'm going to go on this diet and this exercise plan, you're forgetting that trauma happened to you when you were 3 years old, or 12 years old, or 18 years old. And that trauma is affecting your brain chemistry. So there's no way that this particular diet and this particular exercise is going to work for you. And I'm sure that you address that, a bit of that too, in your book.
Yeah, and what I found since this whole journey for me as well, becoming a health coach, and it was through my journey with my own relationship with myself, my own relationship with my food. Why did I have that relationship with the food? And you know what? The relationship with the food had nothing really to do with the food. It had everything to do with these other areas of life, and for me, in my practice, we call it primary food, which is those other, it's relationships, it's career, it's joy, it's all of these things intertwined. And I also find as well that when you get down to it, because we all know we should eat better, our body needs that. We all know we need to exercise. So addressing those things that sometimes people don't want to address because it can be scary, but I can see with, someone to guide you, to take your hand through that. And once that is, those, the whys are healed or brought to light, or however you would phrase that, it's incredible when you have that mind and body connection. It's just
and that's a great way of putting it. The food that you really need, those relationships, and feeling fulfilled and feeling heard and acknowledged, and all of that is crucial and super important in anyone's health and well-being. And I find that when you do address it, and you are able to nail the truth of something, and that's a different practice. I'm teaching a workshop right now called Be a Body Psychic, and it has separate modules for truth talking, something I created about being able to get to the root of what is really preventing you from attaining your goals, and then also subconscious and superconscious conversations, which helps you reframe, not just reframe, because reframe is a typical psychologist word for, managing emotion, but this is a spiritual thing. So we work with the superconscious in order to create a different reality. And as in that different reality, the emotions that create all those different synaptic connection, the neurochemistry that creates obesity, that creates overweight syndrome, starts to come back into balance. And then that balance is the thing that makes you crave the healthy food, that makes you want to work out, that makes you feel good and confident about taking those steps. And that's what I find so refreshing. Like when you do get to that truth point, it's the same as like being literally almost reborn again. Like you're just like, wow, I see things completely differently than I did before. And I think it's because I'm actually speaking my truth. And not to like belabor the point of, speaking truth. So this is different than going to your psychologist or your therapist and just like regurgitating events and how you felt during that moment. No, this is different. This is an alteration in the fiber and the fabric of what created a belief and perpetuated emotion that was unhealthy for you.
Right.
Yeah.
And I believe that, you're talking about neural pathways, and you're talking about the ability for the brain to rewire, and a thought too is learning, allowing it the opportunity to learn. And I think too that I'll talk about it in my book too, is that honoring of your inner self. And sometimes we can really doubt our inner self. We can doubt that person that's right here and stifle, just cram that person down so much. And when we do that, and we it can make it very hard to, move forward with the type of supportive lifestyle and food that we want. And so what you were saying, speaking, letting that person come forth is just one of the most exciting things I've ever seen or experienced myself.
And it's really, really important in that truth-seeking manner, or that effort that, and a lot of people, it's funny because I've, done thousands of assessments now, thousands. Not just the traditional PAR-Q history, health history questionnaire, are you ready for this fitness program or whatever, not just a metabolics questionnaire. I do metabolics questionnaire, fitness questionnaire, health history, PAR-Q questionnaire, emotional questionnaire, personality questionnaire, and then the psychic reading. So in the body of that, there's this tendency consciously to create a very beautiful picture. I eat healthy. I know what to do. I just don't do it. My family is perfect. My life is perfect. My husband is perfect. My job is perfect. I have no problems. Over and over and over again. Then the psychic reading comes in. Okay. And this is the truth. And I'm not speaking to anyone in particular. It's happened over and over and over again. You're abused as a child. You had someone rape you when you're 15. You're in a severe car accident. You watched your father get hit by a car. These are real life issues that we want to forget about, but actually are painting the underpinnings of our emotional reality without our even realizing it. So we may be, thinking we're expressing our personal truth, but the reality is there's a lot of depth to that truth. I mean, if the older you get, the more history you have emotionally of things that may have set you off balance, neurochemistry wise. Now, that's not going to show up until a weak moment in your life when maybe you're super stressed. You have like 6 kids in college and you're paying a mortgage and you can't figure out where your next job is coming from because COVID hit, that kind of thing. That's when all that subconscious neurochemistry comes into play. And then that's when disease starts to set in. So we have to not just reframe, but refresh our memory about the reality of our personal history, our emotional personal history, and then go in and be willing to see it become less and less important in our development and allow the new habit to take precedence. And that's really hard for a lot of people, I find, without doing things like a visualization that I offer for free, which I'm going to provide the link for.
Great.
And you could the textable link. But this is a way that you can allow your conscious awareness to take a back seat and just allow your subconscious to start to speak to you. Now, I studied a lot of different psychologists and their theories and practice about subconscious beliefs and emotional beliefs. And I used to use this one doctor's methodology of fingers for answers. And I just found that to be so insufficient. It was giving me some guidelines and some information, but what I had experienced prior to that, doing these body psychic evaluations and then the body scans that I had my clients do, I knew I could be way more specific than that. So we were able to go in and be very specific with many, many people. Now, they're not thousands, they're hundreds, because it's in the last 5 or 6 years that I entertained even giving a reading to a psychic reading to a personal training client. But in that process, when you're deep in the alpha state, verging on theta state, that's when your subconscious mind has free reign. And that's where you can be open to listen without opinion, without judgment, without any preconceived notion. And that's when the truth really comes through. And that's why I teach via body psychic, so that people can access that level of information that seems to be undermining their goals right now. Mm-hmm. So I know that seemed to be lengthy, but I hope it.
No, it's really, really helpful. And I truly believe it, that and I love the discussion about the subconscious. If we can let ego step aside, the one that wants to protect and it's trying so hard to do a really good job, but sometimes it stifles the ability for us to do what we are here to do.
It's really
and
it's really, really funny. I was leading someone through a subconscious conversation, and we were, heading toward the superconscious conversation, which is the progression from the subconscious conversation. And I was using that other technique with the fingers, identifying, yes, no, I don't want to say, or I don't know. And I got to a point and I asked her a question, subconscious mind, and she was like trying to answer with her fingers. And then I said, subconscious mind, something else. And she goes, it would have been better if you asked it like this. And I'm like, okay, so this was null and void because you just answered with your conscious mind instead of the conscious mind to take control. So you're a little bit of a control freak.
The conscious mind. The conscious mind's like, no, I got it.
I wish it were, it really does take a few sessions, one-on-one sessions with people to get them so relaxed. And so you really have to have zero care about the outcome. You know what I mean? It has to have zero emotional value for you. It doesn't mean anything to you. You don't have to appear as anything. And that's that magical moment that your subconscious mind relays the information you really need to know. But it's funny that, some people drop right into it. I would say about 70% of the people that I work with drop right into that subconscious space and open up. And then there's that 30% that are like, no, I think it should have been done this way. And you already know you're not your subconscious mind anymore.
Yeah. And what I love about it is it's such a great example how everyone's different, and and I'm sure I can tell with just the way you are, you embrace people where they're at, and where they are coming from. And I was just teaching a class today at noon, about primary foods, which are, everything but what we eat, but discussing the concept that what's getting in people's way of their goals. And a lot of time it is the conscious mind, and it wants things to be a specific way. And sometimes it will stop you from the opportunity to learn, or stop you from, oh, you don't want to look like a fool, so don't go try that, or don't go talk to her, or don't, and so being able to move forward and allow that perfectionism and that fear of the conscious mind to move aside.
Okay. Yeah, even it may not even be as specific as that. It may just be that that particular emotional habit is so ingrained in that personality, they just don't know anything else.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
And I worked with a woman who, she was basically raped as a teen. And I was heading down this road of resolving the fear and anxiety, which affects the root chakra and your survival issues, increases insulin, increases cortisol, all of those neurosynaptic issues that happen after that. And I'd worked with her, I think, 2 or 3 times before with the subconscious conversations, and we were able to resolve a lot. But here we landed in this point where she was looking face to face with her own terror. And I asked subconscious mind, is this fear available? And she broke out of this deep theta state, and she said, do you think this is wise to do this right now? Like she just really wasn't ready to give it up, to let it go. And that's what I find fascinating, is that, even though that fear is present in our minds and bodies to help protect us, sometimes that fear is the very thing that's preventing us from being the whole human being we want and need to be. Up until that point, she was totally convinced that this was the way to go. And we were making huge progress. She was losing weight. She was feeling great. She had more self-confidence. She didn't fear being around other men. And then all of a sudden we came to that point where we were ready to reframe and reposition the fear around being raped. And she couldn't go there. She wasn't able to go there. It's just really very, very interesting.
Yeah.
So, you and I, we help people as much as we can. And then at some point, we need that commitment, to step into place. So if you're not ready or willing to commit to yourself and your truth and your reality, and all that is, then we need to do something else. Like I have a few people who've been coming to me for years for diet and exercise. They're just not ready to put their subconscious out there yet, And yet, as you and I know, the fitness and weight loss industries are designed to have you come back over and over and over again, because they know the habitual belief system is going to kick in. You're going to regain that weight and you're going to come right back, and you and I are dedicated to getting past that. So
Yep. Yeah. And I think one thing that my thought came in my mind was when you were talking about that and how everyone has their journey, and sometimes it depending on what it is, that no matter what, even if she had to, her conscious mind came back and said, hey, I'm not ready, it's okay, and next you can always work towards that as you're able. But the other thing that hit me too was if we give up an old belief that we've had for so long, it can leave something empty. Like, we've always felt this way. We've always had this anxiety. And maybe your brain's like, wait, how come I'm not nervous? Wait, how come I don't know why I'm feeling like this, something must be wrong. And, it's so even getting through that emotion and
that's where those, people, it's funny, people always try to work from the outside and let me say this affirmation, let me say this mantra over and over and over again and hopefully change my mind. No, that comes second. You resolve the emotional subconscious issue first, and then that's when you backflow in all that positive affirmations, all the the visualizations, the treasure maps, everything in your mind that's going to be positive and support you in your goal. That's when that comes in. To do that before you've resolved the subconscious issue is almost futile. It's like trying to put, like I worked for a designer years ago, so it's like trying to put Band-Aid on cancer, like you got to resolve the core issue and then grow the positive one.
Mm-hmm.
Stick it in there. So just as an example, personally, I'm clairaudient, I'm clairsentient, I'm what is it? Visual. I had to think about it for a minute. It's late.
I know that you get a note. You get a note.
Clairaudient, clairsentient, and what's the other one? Anyway, I'm all three: visual, audio, and physical.
Mm-hmm.
And for years, this is going to sound weird, I can hear people talking at different random times, and I'll be talking to someone and they'll always, it's funny you just said that, because I was just thinking, and it's because I've heard them talking. So for a very long time, I could hear this person talking to me all the time. I figured out who it was, and it became a habit. We used to communicate, and he would show it somewhere, and he would say, go here to this parking lot, turn the right corner, and I would do that. And it was very comfortable until it became almost like a little abusive. And I decided, you know what? That's a very conscious conversation that's happening in my head that's affecting me subconsciously, and I don't like it. I don't want it. I don't want it in my life. And I started to really not just ask the angels and God for help and support, but also have this very strong visual and belief about me being able to control the things I don't want to hear, the things I don't want to see, the things I don't want to feel. And I've been consistent in that process. So it's a little bit of acknowledging what's happening consciously as well as subconsciously, and then choosing something else consciously until it becomes so ingrained in my mind and body. So now the focal point is very different. The focal point for me is getting this word out, is communicating on a broader scale. Tomorrow I'm going to be interviewed by a local radio station that's intertwined with iHeartRadio. And then I'm going to be on the Doctor Show on February 19th.
I'm so happy for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. So
phenomenal.
It's just a little snippet of literally like 2 minutes, 18 seconds of how I start to work with people in their mind and body connection, being able to speak their truth, have that affirmation back you up, and perform a physical exercise at the same time. It's very exciting to me to see this come to like mainstream television, because you know what this is like. I mean, I've been giving healing at a time when people are like, ooh, that's crazy. Oh, that's so weird. I don't want to have anything. That's got to do with the devil, right? I want you to go to the, Reiki practitioner. But now, at a time when like the Plain Tree organization exists, like they're a patient advocacy group that I love. And I tried to do a story on them a while ago on a YouTube channel. And they are big advocates of holistic medicine in the Western medicine environment. They also have like family kitchens on every floor at the hospital here in Connecticut that they run. And things have progressed. In other words, things are far more different now than they were even 10
years ago.
Yeah.
So different.
So it's so nice to see, traditional Western medical shows like The Doctors really embrace this thought, and be open to it and supportive, enthusiastic even. It's exciting for me because I've always dreamed of meshing the mind-body connection with science. And that's how I describe, myself and, how I treat people on my website, merging the science of well-being with the language of your soul. What's your mind-body message and what does it bring to the table? We can't ignore that anymore.
No. And again, what I love what you were just talking about is like the art of integrative medicine. You bring all modalities together to create a whole person and a healthy person. And, it's incredible to see and to watch. And And gosh, it's already 30 minutes, but I wanted to can you believe it? It's so fun to talk.
It
I
is.
just want to bring back one thing before we go is, which is so important, is we can, the day that and you can follow up with this too, the day that I realized that I needed to do the internal work was the day everything changed. And for years, I blamed everything else for why my life wasn't what I wanted it to be, and I blamed my body for it, and I would pound it physically so hard. And I had a big reality check when I was looking back at old photos when my kids were young, and I remember that was when I was exercising just all the time and still looking at myself in the mirror and being upset. And I looked at those pictures and I was like, oh my gosh,
You looked awesome.
you were powerhouse athlete, And but it was because I was looking for everything outside of me to come and give me my worthiness and give me my body its worthiness. And so it's true. We can look outside all day long, but doing that work and deciding that you're worthy right now, your body's worthy right now to do the work and to take care of it and take care of you and go through that process, it's incredible. So,
no one, and I say this over and over again, no one ever says, wow, geez, I wish I didn't get that massage, that pedicure. I hate taking the time to get my hair done. Like no one says that. Who says that? So when you embark on something like, doing what Tracy does in her book, or my Be a Body Psychic workshop, or do a body scan on yourself, you're never going to regret it.
No.
It's always fascinating. It's always on point, and it always has something specific for you. And I think that's the biggest takeaway, hopefully for everyone today, is that, they're always going to know that whatever effort, you put into this process, you are going to receive 100-fold back. Yes. And know that it's worth it. You are worth it. I talked to someone the other day who was like, I don't think this is in my budget. I'm like, how could it not be? You're worth more than $389. No? Yeah. Think about this for a second. It's a 4-week program, 2 hours a week. You can't do $389 for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
My fee is $150 a session. So it's less than 3 or 4 sessions with me privately. You get so much more by experiencing other people's experience in this course. And she was like, I didn't look at it like that. I said, I know. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this.
I figure we have this amazing opportunity to live on this planet, to experience this life, and we were given a vehicle to experience it in, and it is a priceless vehicle. And once we can truly see that, I think, again, like I said, it changes everything, and as long as we just treat, and work on symptoms, we'll just keep doing that. Like for me, the yo-yo dieting and all this and that. And so addressing the cause alleviates so many things. So darn it, Nicole.
Alrighty. Well, let me set you up with this free offer.
Great.
You text body-mind to 33777. You will get the free body scan download. So this is music done by Paul Avgerinos. He's a very, very famous new age artist that creates meditation music. So I was lucky back then in 2007 to work with him. So it's his music, but it's also a lead visualization that you can actually take inventory, personal inventory of what's going on in your mind and body. Now, I have had Zoom calls in the past that we do in groups that we share this information. But if you'd like to speak with me specifically one-on-one, just put that in the notes when you do respond to the text information, or you can go to my website, which is also on there, that you can contact me via email.
What's the phone number again? I'm going to put it in a comment here so it'll go on the screen.
Well, you can text 33777 body-mind. Text those words body-mind to 33777.
Okay.
Let's just write one day.
Okay, I'm going to try this and let's see if I did it right. Now I'm going to put it on the screen. Is that what you meant? Can you see the screen?
Three sevens.
Okay, what again?
Text body-mind. I have the time of night on my side. What's that? What's your excuse?
Hey, I'm trying to type. Okay, what's the phone?
Okay, so it's body-mind to text it to 33777, 3 sevens. And
33777. Text body mind to 3777. All right, let's see if I got it now.
33777. It's a 5-digit number. Yeah. Yay! We did it! Yay! And you can also follow me, Nicole, on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter at Nicole's MBM. You check out the doctors on the 19th. And if you go to their website, you could see like specific air dates and times on local listings on their stations tab. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
You're done. It's East Coast time.
I'm done.
Thanks again for being on, Nicole. It's so much fun. I'm so glad. I know we've been trying to do this for 3 months, I think, to get this figured out. So
yeah, this is life, right? This is
life. All right. Thanks so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.